Hey, what's up guys, John here. In 2021, the biggest trend was NFTs and crypto.
A digital artwork by a relatively unknown American artist known as Beeple has sold at Christie's for nearly $70 million.
And in 2024, the biggest trend is VanLife, moving into a van and living in a van to try to reduce monthly expenses. Now, Janet Yellen may come out and say that we're going to walk into a soft landing. In fact, we've already had a soft landing. That's what she said.
So the soft landing, did it happen?
What we're seeing now, I think we can describe as a soft landing, and my hope is that it will continue.
But when you look at what's happening right now with millions of Americans, you can see things very, very clearly. That America is not going back to 2018, 2019. In fact, we're walking into the new America. It's happening right now, right before our very eyes. And over the next couple of years, we're going to see millions of people being forced to sell off their homes, their cars, their assets, to try to make ends meet, to try to sustain themselves throughout this insane new normal. I'm going to break it down for you and show you exactly what's going on. Look, Janet Yellen says right here, soft landing in sight. It's in sight. When did this come out? So many things are happening. It's hard to remember. This one was 2007, right before the great financial crisis. This was just 23 hours ago. She says that we've achieved the soft landing. Let's look at the facts. Let's see what's really going on. You tell me. Have we achieved the soft landing, or are we in a silent depression that nobody's talking about? Please hit the like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube will share this content to educate other people about what's going on. And if you'd like to fix your credit, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative item on your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free strategy session. Look at this. So 14 million posts celebrating VanLife on Instagram right now, 14 million. And they're saying, Bloomberg is saying that people are moving into vans because it's good for the environment. That's what they're saying. They're moving into vans because it's good for the environment, not because the cost of living in America has become insane for most people. Just for context, let's say, for example, you're renting for $1,500 a month. $1,500, right? Which is affordable in most markets. If you live in LA or one of these big cities, you're going to spend $2,000, $2,500, $3,000. So $1,500 is a median rent, right? Let's say you have phone bill, $100 a month. You have a car payment, $500. The average car payment in America for a new car is $739, right? Car insurance, $150 on the lower end. And also, I'm not factoring in for Wi-Fi, gas, utilities. I'm not factoring in for anything, furniture, anything that, any expenses for the apartment. I'm just keeping everything very, very, very low. Gas, $50 a week, right? $200 a month. Credit card, maybe you're making minimum payments, $300. Student loans, $400, and $250 a week for food. Some people might say, no, I could do that for $150 or $200. Look, regardless, doesn't really change the numbers. At the end of the day, it's about $4,000 a month. $4,000 a month, almost $50,000 a year. This does not take into consideration any taxes paid, not going out, no trips, you didn't buy a computer, you're not buying clothes, you're not buying anything, like nothing, and it's $50,000 a year. People are looking at this saying, you know what, why am I going to work so hard to make $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year, and then at the end, not have anything to show for it, right? I'm just going to go live in a van. And so when you see how big of a trend this is, like it's exploding on Google Trends right now, like absolutely exploding. The highest we've ever seen by a landslide, right? How to convert a van into a home, right? This right here, this video, how to turn a van into a comfortable home for $365. 1 million views, 36,000 likes on this video. Like, put this into context. This just came out a month ago. Like, 1 million people are watching this to learn how to turn a van into a home, right? When they say we're going to have a soft landing, how's this getting 1 million views if we're having a soft landing? This lady right here says this could not have come at a better time. I'm losing my apartment and struggling to find a new place. I could rent a cargo van for a month or two to get back on my feet. Today I was totally stressed out. Tonight I think I have a plan. Thank you so much. 850 likes on that, right? This lady, 850 likes, and probably worked her entire life, and now the new plan is to move into a van, right? This is the new normal, right? We're going to see, I believe, an increase in the cost of living in 2024, where insurance and taxes are going to continue to rise on residential property. The economy is going to continue to suffer. Inflation is probably going to get much, much worse. And we're going to see people start to fire sale these assets, and we're going to see more and more and more people moving into vans. That's what's going to happen. We're going to see more people do this. And we're already seeing investors looking to cash in on this trend. Like what they're doing, you see in LA, if you've been to LA, whether you've been in West LA or East LA, maybe you've Palms Mar Vista, Venice Beach, you're seeing vans everywhere. And what investors are doing is they're buying these vans, $4,000, $5,000, right? They're buying them, then they're renting them out, $600, $800 a month. And they'll get 2 or 3 roommates in there, each pitching in $200, $300 a month, right? And then on the first of the month, someone will knock on the door and collect that rent. That's it. It's unregulated. No rent control, no regulations. It's a free-for-all, right? And these vans are everywhere. And so when people are getting kicked out of their $2,000 a month apartments, $2,500 a month apartments, they can't afford it, where are they going to go? If they need to live there, they're going to go into a van. That's what they're going to go. They're going to go into some type of common living. And that's what's happening. We're walking into this trend. This is the beginning of it. It started like 2018, 2019, 2020, just been ramping up over 2021 and 2022. But now LA is looking at this. They're saying, hey, no, we don't like this. We don't like it because we can't regulate it. We can't collect the tax revenue on it. We don't want this. And now they're starting to try to crack down on these vans. Some people might say this is a good thing. Look, what has the city of LA, or really any city, done to help the people, right? In terms of, reducing their expenses, making things more manageable. They're going to make this situation, I think, more challenging for the residents, but maybe for the locals, maybe the streets get cleaned up a little bit more. But even that, I think, is probably a stretch, because if you look at the homeless crisis that's unfolding in Los Angeles and many cities throughout America, they're not able to touch it, right? They don't have the infrastructure to be able to do this. They're just looking to put their hands in everybody's pockets and take some more money. But I mean, like they're talking about curtailing the selling or leasing or renting of these RVs and vessels along public streets. And they're saying that RVs across the country are up 31% just in the last 3 years, from 2020 to 2023. You have to ask yourself, given the trends that 40% of American student loan borrowers have not paid their student loans because they can't afford to in most cases, what's going to happen in 2024? This number is going up in a very, very, very big way. 2024 and 2025, this number is going to be going up in a very, very, very big way. Now, I saw this story here. This lady, she owned a business, 11 full-time employees, doing very well. And then everything kind of hit the fan in 2020, and she lost everything. I feel bad for her. Lost everything. A lot of people lost everything. Like a lot of people last couple of years. And now she's saved up. She was able to save up $3,000. Now she lives in this this Dodge Ram, I believe it was. Yeah, 1989 Dodge Ram. And she's living there with her dog and a cat, right? She's living there with her dog and her cat. And she said, you know what, I wish, I saw my life at 40 being a millionaire and having everything intact and everything great. Now I live in a van, right? So when Janet Yellen comes out saying, soft landing, and remember, this is 2007, she said soft landing. And then they all say that everything's going to be good. The economy is going to be great. Everything's going to be good. How is everything going to be good when you look at these numbers? When you look at structurally what's happening? Well, I'm telling you what's going to happen. The next 3 years, probably a little bit less, we're going to see millions of Americans forced to sell off assets. That's what's going to happen, millions. And if inflation is increasing dramatically every single year, and the cost of everything is continuing to go up, if real income and wages are not following, people are going to have to downsize living standards. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. What people need to do is put themselves in a position, whether it be a good job or a good business or a good partnership, put themselves in a good position so they can go out there and start buying up assets to put a moat of safety around themselves and their family. That's what they need to do the next couple of years. Put themselves in a position where they can get bank funding, they can invest in real estate, they can put themselves in a situation where they can pivot and move around the crazy times. Because those that do are going to have options, and those that don't are going to be, watching one of these videos. Some people might like to live in a van. Like, I'm not saying it's, a bad move. It might not be for everybody, right? Not everybody wants to live in a van, especially if you have kids. It might not be an ideal situation. If you're a single person, you might not feel safe living in a van. But some people might like this idea. But I do think the haves and have-not, the gap is never going to be greater over the next couple of years. People need to really, really pay attention to what's structurally happening, what's really happening in this great country. America was a land of opportunity. People would come here from all over the world to be able to get their strike at this freedom, being able to go out there and buy that home, put their kids through school, really be a great value to America, and really have great culture. Like this great culture that was America, everything was just so great, so ripe for the taking. But now that's changing, and it's changing rapidly. And I'm telling you, the next couple of years, those that are positioned and putting themselves in the right place are going to still be able to enjoy America. And those that don't, I think it's going to be a rude awakening. We're already kind of in it right now. What do you think about this entire situation? Do you think we're walking into the final days of this great country, and now we're walking into more of a new America? Drop below. Let's have a conversation about this. And if you have any credit issues, if you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative issue impacting your credit report, and you have big goals, maybe you want to invest in real estate or get a loan for a business, we'd love to help fix your credit. We'd love to help give you a free strategy session in my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. You can click the link in the description just below this video, schedule a free strategy session for Monday. I'll catch you in the next video.